Next is center tapped full wave rectifier. Now see, this is a circuit diagram of a center tap full wave rectifier in which this is the primary winding of a transformer, and to this primary winding the AC input of 230 volt 50 Hz is given. Next, say here this is the secondary winding of a transformer. This is this secondary winding of a transformer here, and this secondary winding is centrally tapped at point C. Centrally tapped at point C here. So what is the meaning of center tap? Center tap means the voltage of the secondary will be equally divided with the common terminal. That means if the voltage appears across secondary winding, if we consider that 12 volt, then it will be equally divided between the terminal A and C and terminal B and C, with C as a common terminal. So across terminal A and C the voltage will be 6 volt, and across terminal B and C the voltage is also a 6 volt. But here we are considering the voltage across terminal A and C is Vm or Vp, and the terminal across the voltage across the terminal B and C, the voltage across terminal B and C here we are considering as Vp or Vm. So we can write here across terminal A and C the voltage appears is Vp, and across terminal B and C the voltage is also Vp, or we can write it as Vm also, Vp or Vm. Next point in this, in case of full wave rectifier there are two diodes. See here, this is diode D1 and this is diode D2. So in full wave rectifier there are two diodes are used, and this is the load resistance RL. This is the load resistance RL. Across this load resistance RL we will take the DC output. So this is the construction of center tapped full wave rectifier. Next we will see the working of a center tap full wave rectifier. Now see here, when there is a positive half cycle, there is a positive half cycle of AC input, the terminal A of the secondary winding is positive with respect to terminal B. That means terminal B is negative. So terminal A is positive with respect to terminal B. That means terminal B is negative here. Then the current flows through diode D1. See here, in case of positive half cycle, terminal A is positive with respect to terminal B, and this is the direction of the current in case of positive half cycle, and this current starts from A, flows through diode D1, as diode D1 is forward bias here. Then after that the current flows through the load resistance RL to this common terminal C, or center tap terminal C. So as the current flows through the diode D1, that means the diode D1 is forward bias here, and we can write here diode D1 is conducts here. Diode D1 is conducts. After that the current will flow through the load resistance RL here, and if the current flows through the load resistance RL, then we can get the DC output. We can get the DC output across this load resistance RL. So this is the working of a full wave rectifier when there is a positive half cycle of AC input. Now we will see how this center tap full wave rectifier works during the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle of AC input. Now see here, during the negative half cycle, the terminal B is positive with respect to the terminal A. That means terminal A is negative here. So as terminal B is positive with respect to terminal A, that means the current will starts from terminal B, then it will flow through diode D2 here. Then it will flow through diode D2, as diode D2 is in forward bias here. After that, this current will flow through this load resistance RL to the terminal C. That is the common terminal here. So during negative half cycle, the terminal B is positive, terminal A is negative. So here in negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts. Diode D2 conducts here, and after diode D2 conducts, the current flows through this load resistance RL and we will get the DC output. So this is the working of a center tap full wave rectifier during the negative half cycle of AC input. So see here, in case of positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts. That means diode D1 is forward bias. At the same time, diode D2 not conducts during the positive half cycle. That means diode D2 is in reverse bias. Diode D2 is in reverse bias. So in case of positive half cycle, D1 is in forward bias. That means diode D1 is in forward bias and diode D2 is in reverse bias. But during the negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts. That means diode D2 is in forward bias. At the same time, diode D1 not conducts in negative half cycle. So diode D1 is in reverse bias. So in a negative half cycle, diode D2 is in forward bias and diode D1 is in reverse bias. Now see these input and output waveforms. In case of the center tap full wave rectifier, see here, this is the AC input waveform here, in which this is a positive half cycle, this is negative half cycle, positive half cycle, this is a negative half cycle. So in case of positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts. Diode D1 conducts. So because of that, we will get the DC output across the load resistance RL. Why? Because the diode D1 is conducting in case of positive half cycle. So because of that, we will get the DC output across the load resistance RL. So this is the waveform of that DC output across the load resistance RL. But during the negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts. Diode D2 conducts. So because of that, there is a current flow through the load resistance RL and we will get the DC output across the load resistance RL, and this is the waveform of the DC output across the load resistance RL during the negative half cycle. Why? During the negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts. Because of that, there is a current flow through the load resistance RL and we will get the DC output. I can see here during positive half cycle, again diode D1 conducts, so we will get the DC output across RL. In a negative half cycle, diode D2 conducts, so we will get the DC output across load resistance RL. So this is the DC output waveform of the center tap full wave rectifier. Next is average voltage. Next is average voltage. So average voltage of this full wave rectifier, that average voltage, that is the DC voltage, and that is equal to 2 Vm upon pi, or we can write it as 2 Vp upon pi. So this is the formula to find out the average voltage or DC output voltage of a full wave rectifier, and that is equal to 2 Vm upon pi or 2 Vp upon pi here. Why we are using 2 Vm upon pi here? Because there is a output of a full wave rectifier, DC output of a full wave rectifier during both positive and negative half cycle. Because of that, we are writing here, or we are taking the DC output voltage across the load resistance RL, that is equal to 2 Vm upon pi or 2 Vp upon pi. Next is the peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage, that is also called as PIV. Now see here, in a full wave rectifier, in a positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts, that means D1 is in forward bias, but D2 is a non-conducting diode here, that means D2 is in reverse bias. So there is a reverse voltage appears across the diode D2, and that reverse voltage is Vp or Vm here. That reverse voltage is Vp or Vm. So in a positive half cycle, the reverse voltage appears across the diode D2, but in a negative half cycle, diode D2 is conducting and D1 is non-conducting diode here. So D1 is in reverse bias, so the reverse voltage appears across diode D1 here, and that reverse voltage is equal to Vp. So the PIV rating or peak inverse voltage in a full wave rectifier, that should be equal to the reverse voltage appears across diode D2 in a positive half cycle, that is Vp, plus the reverse voltage appears across diode D1 during a negative half cycle, that is also Vp. So Vp plus Vp, that should be 2 Vp, or it will be, we can write it as 2 Vm. So the PIV, peak inverse voltage, in a full wave rectifier, that should be equal to 2 Vp or 2 Vm. Next we will see the advantages of a center tap full wave rectifier. So the first advantage is, in a center tap full wave rectifier, there is a more DC voltage than half wave. So in a full wave rectifier, center tap full wave rectifier, the first advantage is there is a more DC voltage than half wave rectifier. The second advantage is the ripple frequency. The ripple frequency of a center tap full wave rectifier, that should be equal to 2 F in. That should be equal to 2 F in. Why the ripple frequency is 2 F in? Because there is a DC output during both positive and negative half cycle. That's why ripple frequency is 2 F in. So if the frequency of AC input is 50 Hertz, then we can take the ripple frequency as 2 into 50, and that should be equal to 100 Hertz. The ripple frequency is equal to 100 Hertz. So as the ripple frequency in a full wave rectifier is more, because of that there is a less ripples. There is a less ripples in the output of a full wave rectifier as compared to the half wave rectifier. Next, the third advantage of full wave rectifier is only two diodes are required in a full wave rectifier. So these are the advantages of a full wave rectifier. Next we will see the disadvantages of a full wave rectifier. So the first disadvantage of a full wave rectifier is there is a center tap. There is a center tapped transformer is used in a full wave rectifier. Because of that, this increase the cost. This increase the cost of the circuit of full wave rectifier. So as the center tap transformer is used, this increases the cost of the circuit. The second disadvantage of a full wave rectifier is the output of a full wave rectifier is a pulsating DC. See here, the output. See this output waveform. This is not a pure DC. It consists of the amount of AC here. So because of that, this DC output is what? It is the pulsating DC. The third disadvantage of a full wave rectifier is the peak inverse voltage of a full wave rectifier is equal to 2 Vp, or we can say it has 2 Vm. So because of that, the cost of diode which is used to handle this peak inverse voltage of 2 Vp or 2 Vm is more. So this is the third disadvantage of this center tap full wave rectifier. So this is all about this center tap full wave rectifier.